Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to talk about Queen Elizabeth II. May her soul rest in peace. To shed more light on her, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Anba Angaelos, Coptic Orthodox Archbishop of London. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Anna.
Well, Anba Angaelos, we know that you were very close to Queen Elizabeth II. Could you give us an idea about this?
Thank you. By the grace of God, have been serving in the United Kingdom for about 27 years. So I've had the pleasure of dealing with Her late Majesty and the royal family on many occasions. And it has been a wonderful engagement. They have great respect for our church, the Coptic Orthodox Church, for Egypt, and for the many things that we have in common culturally, as well as the wealth of culture and heritage that both Egypt and the church brings.
Yes. So, Anba Angaelos, you were honored by the late Queen Elizabeth II. Could you tell us more about this?
Yes, thank you. For a long time here, I was working, of course, on issues to do with freedom of religion or belief for all people of all faiths. And that was recognized in 2015 when I was awarded the honor of the Officer of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire by Her Majesty. And I was actually very fortunate to receive the honor from Her Majesty herself. And it just means that we stand for everybody's freedom to exercise a God-given right. And I think it's very important not to look after ourselves, but look after other people as well.
Yes, so Anba Angaelos, now Queen Elizabeth II, her coffin is taken the coffin is going through processions in the streets of the UK, and also transferred by plane from one place to another until next Monday. The formal funeral would be held. Could you give us an idea about this?
Yes, of course. So Her late Majesty passed away in Scotland, in Balmoral, which was one of her residences. It's not an official residence, but where she spends a lot of the time, and where she spent her last days. Because she passed away in Scotland, she was transported to St. Anne's Chapel, where there was a service in the presence of her children and the community. The coffin is what we call, it was lying in state, like any head of state, where people are able to visit and pay their respect. It was there for 24 hours. The coffin was flown back to London yesterday and spent the night at Buckingham Palace. Today it will be transported very officially by royal gun carriage from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster, where the Parliament sits, where she will be lying in state for 4 days, starting tomorrow, up until Monday, when the funeral will take place at Westminster Abbey. They're expecting that there will be a processional line that will run 24 hours a day for the many hundreds of thousands who will want to be paying their respect.
Yes. So, Anba Angaelos, back to the honoring that you received from Queen Elizabeth II. You were honored by the Merit of Honor of London. What does this mean to you?
I think it's a recognition of the work. I think it's a recognition not of the person, because there are many people doing this work. I never see it as a personal honor, as much as I see it as an honor of the work that is being done, and that work is incredibly important. It's also a recognition of my being a clergyman of the Coptic Orthodox Church, and it's a recognition of my being an Egyptian who is here in Britain and has been here for a long time, and we consider ourselves, of course, having our very rich and important Egyptian heritage, of which we are very proud, but also very much part of the life and ministry of Great Britain, and making that heritage visible here, and being, as much as we can, good ambassadors for our church and for Egypt.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time, our deep condolences. Of course, thank you, Anba Angaelos, Coptic Orthodox Archbishop of London. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.